Hi, I'm Cordy and this is my face. On today's video, this is specifically a video for Lee, who I know has one of these that he got for a very good price in green, and I know he has one of these, and I know he has two hands, and I know he has some children. But he asked me how I would go about getting a jazz tone, the Iridium, so that's what this video is about. So let's start with the guitar, actually. So for me, maybe 99% of jazz is about the neck humbucker. Anything else on a guitar, for me sounds wrong. If you're playing jazz. So neck humbucker and your tone knob on your guitar, some people like to roll it all the way off, but I think you'll find that sometimes you're gonna not want to go all the way off. And for more modern jazz sounds, I think one of the ways that they get rid of some of that brightness that can happen, you know, if you have it all the way open, the tone, you get a bit more kind of finger noise, and delay and reverb, I think, is one of the ways commonly that people like Kurt Rosenwinkel, Jonathan Kreisberg, Gilad Hexelman, Julian Lage, Mike Marino, all of these guitarists that we hear have got these days an amount of delay and reverb, so I think that's important, but also experimenting with your tone knob. So all the way off for me doesn't really sound too good, but backing it off to around halfway probably is about where I tend to so that's how I would start with the guitar. Now on the Iridium, I've got the drive at about 1 o'clock, the bass I've got here at around 2 o'clock, mids at about 11:30, the treble I've got at about 2 o'clock, the room I've got on the large setting and is about halfway, the level I've got up to kind of give me some level into the interface but without kind of driving. So you probably want to set your drive setting so that even if you dig in, things stay clean. For me, if you start to get clipping when you're playing jazz, things don't really sound right, so you want like a lot of headroom, so that if you dig in and play louder, things still stay clean. So I use the deluxe reverb setting on cab A, and I'm looking for not having a hint of drive. Get it past like that 2 o'clock, I think it starts to engage that boost. I'm still okay for drive here. You start to get into trees like that where you start to get a bit of drive, and that's not really what I'm looking for. So around 12:30 works nicely, which is why I'm able to push that level up quite high. I got it in mono mode, I should have had it in stereo. So in this video here, I'm using the Nux Atlantic, which has reverb on one side and delay on the other. If you notice, one of the things that I've heard quite a bit with jazz guitarists is a relatively quick delay, and a few repeats, but not particularly, so not this kind of thing where you get, so a bit quicker than that. So works better because obviously as you're playing jazz you might be playing through changes, and you don't want necessarily you probably don't want to repeat at like a crotchet or quarter note. You probably want it a little bit more immediate, so that things aren't necessarily, so that the changes don't blend over one another and your lines don't get muddied across with a kind of competing clashes and stuff. So that's how I'd set things up. You could also consider using the Marshall. A bit of a quicker response, or the Vox even. But you see a deluxe reverb used quite a lot in the jazz scene. That and a Roland JC120, to me, I think are the most commonly used amps that I see. And for that reason, that might be what I went for. So that's how I would set up for a jazz tone. I've never really found it like challenging to get something going on with the Iridium that I like, mostly because I like my jazz tones to be relatively simple. A bit of reverb and a bit of delay will really help you to get there. If you're, potentially in a solo setting, maybe you're going to have your bass and mids a bit higher than if you were playing as part of an ensemble. But generally I don't think you can go too wrong. If things are sounding a bit too dark, you can either use the treble on the Iridium, or you can open up that tone control a little bit